I feel weird asking someone who had a colon cancer diagnosis to eat spicy Mexican food.
James, here's a little secret you don't know about me yet, but I don't have a colon.
Okay, so let's do this thing. Giddy up.
It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
All right, it is Car Con Carne, the world's only food podcast recorded in a car. That car is my Mazda 3. I'm James Van Alstyne, joined in the backseat by Chris, a member of the King Kash tribute band.
Hello, everybody.
Can you say, hi, I'm Johnny Cash?
Hi, I'm Johnny Cash.
That's fantastic. Okay, and Dan, your role as it relates to this podcast, this show, you are what in relation to Gilda's Club?
Well, James, my name is Dan Olas, and I am president of the associate board for Gilda's Club Chicago. And Gilda's Club Chicago was established to provide cancer support services to not only those who are diagnosed with cancer, but those who are caring for people diagnosed with cancer.
All right, and we are here to talk about Gildapalooza, the annual event, which is coming up on which date?
It's at July 7th at Columbia Yacht Club.
Right on. Okay, so and Chris will be performing as Johnny Cash, and your involvement, Dan, and I should mention we're at Lazo's Tacos. There's so much to cover here. Lazo's Tacos in, I guess this is the border of Wicker...
Kind of Logan Square.
Kind of Logan. Also kind of on the border, like Bucktown, I think it's like right across Armitage.
Yeah, right across from Margie's Candies.
Right, exactly right. So we're sitting here on Western Avenue in front of Lazo's Tacos. Dan, your involvement with Gilda's Club came about how?
Well, James, I was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer in 2007.
So leading up to that, how did you knew something was wrong?
James, you know what? I really wasn't feeling very well. I was having stomach troubles, to be completely honest with you, and I thought it was stress-related. I thought I had an ulcer, and finally it had gotten so bad that I actually went and saw a doctor, and they did the tests. I had a colonoscopy, and I'll never forget the day that the doctor came in and said, I can't believe I'm telling you this, but it's cancer.
And how old were you? Because you're a young guy.
I was 37 years old, and I was telling Chris when I was first diagnosed, 37 years old, I was the youngest guy in the room with colon cancer, but by the time I finished all my treatments and stuff, there were kids in their 20s getting diagnosed with colon cancer. So
was it? You get the diagnosis. Was it one of those things where, like, all the color drains out of your surroundings? Like, time moves in slow motion.
James, it's really bizarre. They come in and they tell you have cancer, and then they walk out the door, and you're left sitting there going, is that what I just heard?
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was fairly traumatic, and that's what led me to a number of support groups, because I really didn't have anybody to talk to. There wasn't anybody in my family that was diagnosed with cancer. My friends, I didn't have any friends with any cancer diagnosis.
So there's a lot of people saying, yeah, that sucks, dude, but that's about as far as it could go. Like, they were supportive.
Yeah. I was telling Chris, everybody wants to tell you how good you look. And, and it's done with the best intentions, but really, you don't look very good. You look like you have cancer. So Gilda's place is it's kind of a safe house where people can go. Nobody tells you you look great. Nobody tells you you're going to beat this disease. They're there to support you, to answer questions. One of the mottos at Gilda's Club is, we let the doctors take care of the body, and Gilda's Club takes care of your mind. So,
and Gilda, the namesake, Gilda Radner.
Mm-hmm, correct. Right.
So this was inspired by her, or?
It was. Gilda was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And she went through a very drawn out period that she battled the disease, and she realized that there wasn't a good place where she could just kind of hang out with other people that understood what was going on to her, people that understood the challenges of going through the chemo regimens and just how crummy that you feel and people that you can commiserate with. Everybody wanted to tell her how good she looked and you're going to be just fine. So subsequently, after she passed, her friends created Gilda's Club, and the first one was in New York City, and then Chicago, and then spread across the country. And now we have 50 Gilda's Clubs around the country. In the Chicago area, we're located at 537 North Wells Street downtown, also at Northwestern Hospital, Rush, Advocate, Children's Hospital.
And is the price of admission just a diagnosis, really?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's kind of a steep price if you ask some people. But, all of our services are completely free of charge. We hosted, we had 8,000 new members last year. They attended 30,000 different activities at the club. There's a lot of stuff going on there. We operate on a shoestring budget.
It's a not-for-profit, I think.
It's a total non-for-profit, but equally as important, we were judged in 2015 to be one of the top charities in Chicago by Chicago Magazine. And we're a two-time winner of a 4-star charity. So we're managed very well. Just about every cent of every dollar that you donate to Gilda's Club goes right to the bottom line into helping people with cancer.
Well, here's the thing. Everyone knows someone or has been touched by cancer.
Right, absolutely.
So the value of having this club in Chicago, as embracing as it is, I think can't be overstated.
James, you know what? I attended the group sessions at Gilda's Club for many, many years. And, I would see people that would travel from the suburbs to come downtown for the group meetings, travel through rain and snow and sit on the Kennedy for hours in traffic. People that would literally get limbs cut off during the week and then show up next week in their group meetings just because, it was that important to them. The level of services and what it did for them was so very important that they wouldn't miss it no matter what.
So when did you step into kind of this significant role with the club?
Well, James, after going through what I went through, and to be honest with you, they gave me a 12% chance of living 5 years. So, at that point, I was kind of a wreck. But after going through that and seeing everything going on at the club and the good that it's doing for so many people, and again, what makes
I've got to interrupt you. I appreciate everything you're saying.
Sure.
I'm stuck on the 12% chance. I mean, I can't imagine. Like, I'm still trying to process what it would be like if I had that same.
Yeah, you know what though, James? The good thing about it is I was kind of young and dumb. So you know what? They told me I had a 12% chance of living 5 years, and you were just like, come on, let's be serious. Being naive really kind of helped me. Finally in a good way. It was very beneficial to me. So. You just
sorry to throw you off your rhythm, but I had a really hard time processing that.
You know what? There were times where you're sitting out in California on the cliff and you're going, is this the last time I'm going to see this? And that's when it really hit home. I will tell you that I would characterize my experience as a really good bad experience, meaning that it taught me a lot about myself and friends and family, and just how you carry yourself and how people perceive you and what you do for others and how you treat others. It really brought that all home, and it made me realize that every single interaction means something to somebody, whether or not you realize it at that moment. And that was kind of the cool thing of going through the whole process, is people will come up to you and say, hey, Dan, remember when we did this? Or you remember when you told me that? That meant a lot to me. Or that, that changed my life, believe it or not. And
how lucky am I that you're here today to tell this story?
How lucky am I that I'm here hanging with you eating tacos in your car? That's cool.
All right, so sorry, you got out, after your experience with Gilda's Club and being part of these group therapy sessions, how did you get to the next level? This administrative level.
Well, I'll tell you, James, I benefited so much from what went on there and seeing what went on with others around me. that I felt I had to give back to the organization. That's when I hooked up with the associate board, and the associate board is a collection of about 50 young adults, some who have a connection to cancer, others who are just looking to give back to the community and want to get involved. And got involved with them. We started raising money for Gilda, spreading the word of what's going on there. Through the years, I chaired a number of our fundraising events, including Gildapalooza over the years, and then just kind of rose up and accepted a presidency position. So I did 2 years of presidency a couple years ago, came back this last year for another run, and things are going really well. Thank goodness we got such a great, talented group of people who are very passionate about what they do, and as well as very effective. So we're having a great year.
I love the idea of people taking care of each other.
Absolutely.
Emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations on the work that you do and the impact you're making.
Yeah, it's huge. It really is. It fills a niche out there that not many organizations do. And again, that's what makes Gilda's Club unique and very special.
I'll tell you, as we read the headlines, as we watch what's going on in the world in Chicago, it does seem like the world is burning in a fiery blaze right now. So it's nice to hear positive messages coming from darkness.
Absolutely.
Because,
yeah.
Oh my God, I feel beaten down by the world, but hearing your story goes a long way.
Yeah, you know what, I do appreciate that, and you know what, my story is one of thousands of stories, and stories that are being created every single day. You know, I think about this a lot, especially, you know, when I go for my checkups at Northwestern, when I walk out that doctor's door, and you know what, I've just gotten a pass for the next 6 months. I'm looking at people who are being told they have cancer that day. You know, they're minutes away from hearing that news, and that just really strikes me in a really weird way. I mean, that's why I continue doing what I do, because every single day, new people are finding out for the first time they're being diagnosed with cancer, and they're feeling the way that I felt when that doctor walked in that room.
And Chris, you're in the backseat hearing the same stories I'm hearing. What do you think when you hear all this? I'm getting chills. I have a lot of emotions as I'm listening to these stories.
I think what they're doing is a wonderful thing. I think absolutely people need emotional and spiritual support. You know, like Dan was saying, you know, they essentially, the doctors let them worry about the body, but you know, the other support that's required out there. I mean, it's it's the whole person, right? I mean, it's not just doing a surgery and removing something. It's just making that person feel like part of the human race again, and you know, and it's just we can count ourselves very fortunate, you know, that we didn't have to go through any of that situation that Dan and the rest of the folks out there had to go through.
So we're at Lazo's Tacos. I feel weird asking someone who had a colon cancer diagnosis to eat spicy Mexican food.
James, here's a little secret you don't know about me yet, but I don't have a colon.
Okay, so let's do this thing. Giddy up.
Let's eat.
All right, so Dan, you and I both got chicken tacos, the pollo.
Yeah, it looks delicious.
And Chris, you went steak.
I sure did.
And as I was waiting for you guys, I got an horchata. I love horchata. The big, like, rice milk. Tastes like rice pudding in a cup. The horchata, I have to say, was super good and refreshing.
I had a margarita. It was great, too. Good taco.
Yeah, I gotta say, you guys were in no hurry to leave. You had your margaritas, you're like, we're good.
Yeah,
well, this is the big time.
Can we do the interview at the bar?
We were prepping.
Mm-hmm. Could we do bar con carne? All right, so tell me what's going to happen. We're going to hear from King Kash, or 50%. But tell me what else is happening at Gildapalooza as we dine.
Well, James, you know what? I was speaking with somebody today, and we started looking back on it, and we're guessing this might be our 8th edition of Gildapalooza, and it's really evolved over the years into really what is one of our biggest events of the year. This is our second year at Columbia Yacht Club, working with Nick Phillip and the great staff over there. We're on the aft deck of the boat. If you're familiar with Columbia Yacht Club, it's floating in DuSable Harbor. Mm-hmm. We're on the aft deck. It's an outdoor venue. It is covered with a giant corporate tent. However, it's the backdrop with the city there. We have 3 bands, King Kash included, John Vincent, Pistols at Dawn. 3 bands, all the food and drink you can consume, and it's for $55 in advance, $65 at the door.
And that includes food and drink?
It does. Yeah,
it's a pretty sweet deal.
It's a fantastic deal, and like I say, it's a great event. We're looking to attract 300 to 400 people. Don't tell Nick Phillip at Columbia Yacht Club. We've got some incredible corporate sponsors this year. Certainly Columbia Yacht Club, but also Goose Island, Sysmex, Midwest Diagnostics, Ariel Investments, the John Walter Family Foundation, among many other corporate sponsors.
Great.
People really just stepping up to support what we're doing, which makes me feel so good. I mean, that really just validates everything.
Oh, it has to. Looking back on your time from diagnosis on forward, is there something you wish someone had told you as you entered or started this journey?
You know what I tell people a lot? If you're not feeling right, something just doesn't feel right, go to the doctor, okay? That's really what it comes down to. I can't...
We hear that all the time, and people are stubborn.
And you know what? And I'm a guy, and I'm an idiot. So
part and parcel.
You know what? There'll be lots of people who tell you that too. But really, I probably waited too long, and certainly it exasperated everything. But the fact of the matter is, I had stage 4 cancer, which kills a lot of people, and it was just a matter of time, and I would have been dead. So
37 years old.
Yeah, figure that out. And you know what? There's no family history. I tried to blame my family.
Attaboy.
Yeah, there was just no blame to go around. It was very unfortunate. No, but it is what it is, and like I say, the kids are getting diagnosed with this stuff. So I definitely feel it's something in the food. It's the steroids. It's the colorings. Whatever it is, it's not doing us right. So, not feeling well, go see a doctor and get it looked at, because it saved my life for sure.
Not to keep you from eating, but I am very interested in your journey and your experience. Mm-hmm. Can you remember a story of someone who you encountered at the club, someone who came to you for advice, something that touched you in a way or in a memorable way?
Yeah. You know what? Really, lots of them. We need more tacos for sure. But there was. We
can make that happen, by the way. Yeah. We can make it rain tacos here.
I think I could yell at our waitress from here. We're parked right out front. But yeah, there was a woman named Joan, and Joan was in my support group, and she was there right when I got in, and I was going through chemo, and I was doing a lot of complaining. I mean, I was feeling bad. James, chemo, I lost 35 pounds right out of the gate. Yeah, it was a rough ride, and I'm in my group, and I'm kind of bitching and moaning, and Joan is seated across from me, and she says to me, she goes, well, I'm in chemotherapy, and I like it. And I'm like, whatever, Joan, you're nuts. She's like, no, she goes, as long as I'm in chemotherapy, I know that I'm alive, and I'll be in chemotherapy for the rest of my life. And I was like, wow, okay. You got a point, Joan. So at that point, I kind of dried my tears and I quit whining. Joan ended up she ended up taking a turn for the worse not too long after. And she was in hospice, and I got a call from her family, and Joan really wanted to see me. So I went out to Park Ridge. She was in her house, and she's in bed in the middle of the room, and the family's all around, and all the gold and the trinkets are all laid out because she's divvying everything up because the end is near. And I walked in, and Joan and I sat and we spoke for about 2.5 hours, and all the family members left the room, and Joan and I just talked and talked and talked and talked. And that night, Joan died. And her family, I went to the funeral, and they were like, you know what, Joan really admired you. You really helped Joan through a lot, and she wanted nothing more to see you before she died. And I was like, no, Joan helped me out. Right. Joan put it all in perspective for me. And I'd never really realized what the deal was there. And I spent 2 of Joan's last 8 hours on this face of this earth. Her and I spent it together before she died, and man, I'll never forget Joan. Man, she was a great lady. I love that woman. I can honestly say that I love that woman.
So please eat your taco.
Yeah, no.
The way I try to do this, I try to eat as the other person's talking. It's a give and take. Try to keep it going so that you can enjoy your food. So someone gets diagnosed today, tomorrow, next week, someone who's listening. What's your best advice? Just to avoid the cycle of depression, or to lessen the cycle of depression or despair.
You know what? If you let it, cancer will take everything from you. It will take your time, your mental health. It will take your life, money, everything. It will take it all away. You can't let it do that. You need to step up, and you need to manage what you can. So that means managing your doctors, managing your medicine, go getting a second opinion, go get a third opinion, if that's what it takes. If you don't like your doctors, fire them. Go get some other doctors.
You're in charge.
Yeah, take charge of your prognosis. Take charge of your treatment. Keep that in your possession, because that's one of the few things that you can control. And then realize that you're going to feel like crap. I mean, you're essentially getting pumped with poison, and it's designed to kill. And they give you just as much that you can stomach and that you can take without actually dying. So, again, you really need to stay on top of things. If you have questions for your doctors, you sit your doctors down. You got to manage them too. These are all people that are on your team. They're on your payroll. They work for you. If you're not getting the love from your team, replace those team members.
Well said. All right, keep eating. Chris, see, here's the deal. You're performing at Gildapalooza as Johnny Kash. It seemed like a great opportunity to have a live backseat performance in the Mazda 3. How often have you played in the backseat of a car, would you say?
Never. This will be the first time.
A landmark occasion. And I kind of, that was a loaded question. I think I knew the answer before I asked it. Do you feel, can you play some Kash songs in the backseat?
Well, it's kind of small back here. My guitar is really huge. It's about 5 feet long, and we'll have to roll the window down and get the neck out. And I think I'm just kidding. It's a regular guitar.
Oh,
I think we could manage something.
I think maybe Dan and I will watch from outside the car. We'll record from outside so we can move the passenger seat up. I've got this whole thing down. I've had a few performances in here. I've got this figured out, kind of.
All right.
So we'll do it. But I've had the blues in the backseat. I've had punk rock in the backseat.
Nice.
And now we're going to have some classic American music.
Yeah, Johnny Kash. God bless Johnny Kash.
For real. Before we make that transition, tell me what compelled you to basically take on the role of Johnny Kash. I mean, as a musician, you have lots of options. I could start a band. I could be a singer-songwriter. You said, you know what, I got this Kash thing down.
Well, I was in a band for about 12 or 13 years. We mostly played folk music. Our background is Croatian, and we essentially played folk music.
Not what I'd expect. going into this Johnny Cash conversation.
Oh, okay.
The Croatian background.
Yeah, definitely. So essentially, my brother as well. He had a band. My brother, aka Elvis Presley. He essentially he was in a band as well, and he is the one. He is the originator of this show. But before this actually became a show, he started doing Elvis shows on his own. So he had a friend who at a wedding who asked him if he could do an Elvis show, and he said, "Yeah, sure, let me try it." And he got a suit and went to the wedding and did his Elvis show, and they loved it. And then people kept asking him to play their private parties and whatnot. And so he would be doing these shows, pretty frequently. Yeah, maybe a couple a month or so like that. So then one day he came over to the house, and I had my guitar, and I was just strumming around, and I was singing I think it was Ring of Fire or Folsom Prison or one of the songs. And he goes, you should come play with me. We'll make a show out of it. I said, well, I don't really. I kind of. He said, no, just try it out, see if you like it, and, maybe, he's like, I'm sure the crowd will like it. I mean, it's Johnny Cash, it's pretty popular, Elvis is popular as well, and so essentially it was just him and I, we started doing the show, and eventually we got a couple other performers as well. We got a Jerry Lee Lewis, a.k.a. Killer, and we have a Dolly Parton. She's wonderful. She's from Nashville. She lives in Nashville, let's say, but she's really good. She does Loretta Lynn, Patsy Cline, all kinds of different. I mean, the show's got so much variety. It's just really, really good. I think you guys will be real happy with us. So yeah, it's good. I mean, come check us out at Naperville Rib Fest. We are playing July 1st between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. So
and then of course at Gildapalooza.
And at Gildapalooza, absolutely.
So, what is it that you personally like about Johnny Cash? I mean, I love Johnny Cash. I have my own reasons. What is it that draws you to his music?
I like the darkness. The darkness. There's a certain darkness to Johnny Cash. There's no beating around the bush. There's songs about pain, and there's songs about the songs are real. They're they speak to me. It's just, and people appreciate that type of honesty. I think I know I appreciate it. That life isn't all roses, and there's everybody has a little bit of pain in their lives. Every single person, and if we can. Part of the reason we do the show is because of that. We don't get we can't quit our day jobs. This is just something we do, when we get a chance, and we obviously. But people enjoy it. If I can sing you a song and you like that song and you sing along with me, and I can get rid of that, whatever your pain is, it doesn't matter what, for 5 minutes or for 3 minutes or however long, it's way worth it to me. So,
see, and you hit on a couple things that I think of when I think of Johnny Cash. You mentioned the darkness, but to me, you talked about how real the songs are. Johnny Cash songs, to me, the lyrics always had a certain vulnerability, even when he was at his most badass. Talking about shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. Folsom Prison is a song about despair.
Right.
It's a song about him saying, "This is it. This is where I'm going to be the rest of my life. People out there are having a great time. I screwed myself."
Right.
I mean, all those songs. 25 Minutes to Go, another song like that. I mean, even Jackson, the duet he does with June Carter.
Right.
I mean, it's about him trying to puff up what a man he is, but really it's raging insecurity through the entire song. So there are those sides to each of his lyrics that I find so interesting.
Right. And everybody, and the best part about it is, no one's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. That's just the way it is. I've made tons of mistakes, and it's just, and that's.
I made a mistake not getting a third taco.
Yeah, right. Could use another margarita.
Yeah, now we're talking. But, yeah, so I mean, it's just I love doing it. It's great stuff. I mean, it's just people like. I mean, it's just it's a good show. You guys will see. It'll be fun.
Looking forward to it.
All right, so guys, I'm going to hit pause. The next thing the listeners will hear will be you, Chris, as Cash, in the backseat of my car performing live.
Okay.
This backseat gets all the wrong kind of action.
Love is a burden thing, and it makes a fiery ring, bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. I feel for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. All right, the deal.
There it is. Nicely done.
Oh, thanks. I'm
Thank you for doing that.
I'm having a little. I'm hitting the seat back here a little bit with my hands, but that's all right. No big deal.
That is a thing that happens. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. No big
What I
deal.
love, you're doing Ring of Fire as like a fire truck's going by on Western.
Yeah, was it a fire truck or ambulance or something?
It's some emergency vehicle, but it seemed like art imitating life or vice versa as that was happening. So super cool.
There you go.
All right, why don't you pack your guitar away? We'll invite Dan back in the car.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for having me.
All right, so we did a little shuffle. Dan's back in the car. Sorry, we had to kick you out. There was truly no room.
Oh, that's okay. I'm used to it.
You get it. But you're watching outside. You're taking in, it's a summer night.
Yeah.
Taking in Chicago.
Yeah, it really wasn't so bad. Almost got mugged, but that's okay. For a good cause.
And the good cause is Gildapalooza. And really, the reason why we're parked out here on Western Avenue, the reason why Chris is performing songs in the backseat of my car, the reason why you are here talking is because of Gildapalooza, which again is...
Gildapalooza, July 7th, Columbia Yacht Club, 7 p.m., 3 bands, all the food and drink you can consume, $55 in advance, $65 at the door. You buy tickets at www.gildasclubchicago.org and just go to the events page and purchase tickets there, or you can purchase them at the door as well.
Fantastic. And Chris, for King Kash, to keep up on you guys, you have a website?
Yep, it's kingkash.com. Cash with a K. So King with a K, Cash with a K. And you'll see all of our events coming up. Our next event will be Naperville Rib Fest, and that's July 1st, Friday, July 1st, between 6 and 8 p.m.
Fantastic. Guys, thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having us, James.
I hope the event's a big success, obviously, but the work that Gilda's Club is doing, it really it means a lot, and I hope it continues to be this safe place for people who have cancer.
It means a lot to a lot of people, James, and thanks to you for allowing us to spread the word and to promote Gildapalooza. It's going to be a fantastic event. Please come on out and support our mission. We need your help. We couldn't do what we do without you guys. So thanks to Chris and John Vincent and Pistols at Dawn and all of our sponsors and James. Thanks to you. And can we go for ice cream next?
I have no room. You guys might want one of those adult milkshakes, I think. Something with rum, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe you're right.